Well, hey guys, Jonathan Doyle with you once again. Welcome aboard to the Daily Message here on YouTube or Rumble, wherever you're seeing this. Please make sure you've subscribed. Makes a big difference to me. Please make sure you've subscribed. Go and check out all the links in the description. There's free access to my book, Bridging the Gap. We're going to send you a couple of chapters every few days. So go grab free access to that book. If you want to listen to the podcast version of what we're doing here, I always go deeper in the podcast version. So go and hit the links here if you want to listen on the podcast apps. That's about it. So check out those description notes. Today I want to talk to you about setting internal standards. I've been coaching a group of about 14 people recently, as some of you know, and what struck me during the week was the incredible diversity of internal standards. When it comes to executing something in life, you will notice that any particular human will bring a completely diverse level of energy, excellence to whatever they're doing. It's been a great mystery to me for many years. I've often tried to figure out what it is that determines whether one group of people or another bring their very best to any given situation. It's a real mystery because you're going to find in life people that can come from incredibly traumatic, difficult backgrounds go on to make something remarkable of their lives. And then you're going to have people that come from the most, privileged backgrounds who don't go on to make something remarkable of their lives. What's the difference? How does it work? I think it's a real mystery. I think there's some kind of internal mechanism that conditions how we respond to life, the challenges of life, the goals and aspirations that we have. But I wanted to put this on your radar because as you go through your day, you've got to get attuned to the level of personal excellence and execution that you're bringing, because I think what I want to really communicate here is that many people, is it most? Yeah, possibly, very much allow external circumstances to dictate their response. So it can be the weather, it can be the government, it can be the economy, it can be what other people say or do, it can be feedback they get on social media. So many people get deeply affected by and respond to external circumstances. And then you find this small group of people that have a much stronger internal mechanism that drives their response. Some of you will be familiar with the concept of internal and external locus of control. It's a principle in psychology and in peak performance that's geared around the idea that really successful people have a deep sense of internal control, that even if circumstances are difficult and problematic, that the sense of internal control is what drives them, that no matter what's happening, they believe that they can significantly impact and change things going forward. So yes, they recognize the external circumstances, but they have this internal mechanism that gives them a sense that regardless of whatever's happening, they control their own level of performance, they control their own level of response. So you see it in extremes. You'll see it in people sometimes, the classic story of Viktor Frankl, in Man's Search for Meaning, imprisoned in Auschwitz under these awful external circumstances, but controlling his internal response. So I'm just bringing this to you today because it's a clear observation for me over the last week watching this group of people. We're going through a set of exercises and you just see these variants, this big variance in energy. In some people just don't really care. They just really don't. It's just not there for them. They're not focused. They're not interested. They're not engaged. And you've got one or two other people in the group who are really switched on. It's a true mystery. All I can tell you is you just have to decide which group you want to be in. Because if you stay in the right group over time, you will get results. So the core of this message today is no matter what you're going through in life, no matter what you're facing, no matter what the difficulties and challenges, you've got to set your own internal standards. You won't have an audience half the time. And I said this to the group, I said some of the most important moments in your life won't have an audience. It's often what you do when no one is looking, when there's no immediate feedback, when there's no instant response that will determine your future, because it's what you bring in those moments that really comes to define your character, comes to define the level of success you experience in life. So please start thinking about your own level of internal standards and what you bring to any situation, regardless of the circumstance, all right? So start getting attuned to this, start looking around you going, yes, this isn't what I want, this thing's not ideal, the weather, this, that, the other, but I'm still going to bring the very best I can bring regardless of the circumstance, right? It's not complex. It's not complex, but it's not easy to do. All right, that's it for today. Hit that subscribe button. Go and check out the description notes. Go check out the podcast version where you'll hear me talk a lot more deeply about this. But for now, don't let the external circumstance dictate your response. My name's Jonathan Doyle. This has been The Daily Message, and you and I are going to talk again tomorrow.